how is Donald Trump going to prepare to assume the office? Part of that process is going to involve building relationships with elected officials in Congress and all over the world. It also means recruiting people to serve in his new administration. One figure who's sure to be key in that is the Vice President-elect Mike Pence, the current governor of Indiana. He's a former member of the House Republican leadership, and he is a man with very good relationships throughout the party, including with some people who Trump has not gotten along with. Other familiar faces have been floated for potential posts in a cabinet or White House of Donald J. Trump, including perhaps Newt Gingrich as Secretary of State, Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions as Secretary of Defense, and former mayor of Gotham City, Rudy Giuliani, as Attorney General. The Trump campaign said today that it's going to be releasing his first picks for jobs in about a week. So, John, what is a Trump administration going to look like?
Well, it's going to look not like any other administration we've seen in a long time, in the sense that, these figures, most of those figures up there on the board, apart from Steve Bannon, are familiar figures in Republican politics, but they are not Beltway staples. And so I don't even want to begin to start making predictions about who's going to be in. But one of the interesting things here is that you have the first genuine populist. Every presidential candidate tries to now become a man of the people, right? It's been true for a long time. But Trump ran a genuinely populist outsider campaign, and now he's going to go to this city that he has disdained and try to work within it. And so the question is, how do you maintain that fealty to what got you here, while also putting people into positions that actually know how to run the federal government? It's a big challenge.
I think it's going to have a lot of business people, and most cabinets have one or two business people. I think there'll be a lot. One of the Democrats' claims in this campaign was Trump is a fraud as a business person. He's failed, the bankruptcies, his businesses are just a big joke. It's going to be fascinating to see if he picks business people. How do they do? Does he have the judgment to put business people in who can actually get stuff done? And what kind of standards do they have? In terms of ethics, in terms of resume, it's going to be fascinating. And like everything we're about to discuss, people have barely thought about this stuff because people didn't think he was going to win it because there's very little to go on because he's never been in elected office. It's going to be fascinating.
Yeah. How do you feel about the idea of a Treasury Secretary who would go by the name of Mooch?
All good. All good with that.
Okay, great.